Hi, I'm Rory Sheppard, and this is my second video for my Improving Instrumental Studies course. And this video I'm going to be demonstrating my own personal equipment and choices. Um, this is going to include my guitar, my amp, what things I use to play my guitar, and what make my equipment are. So let's start. First of all, I'm going to obviously start with my guitar. I'm going to be showing you two guitars in this video. One of them is acoustic, and this obviously is electric. Okay, let's start with my electric. This guitar. It's a Fender Stratocaster. It's American made, and it's of course sunburst. It's about 4 months old now. I bought it when I first started college here at Letchworth, and the reason what attracted me to this guitar is just the look of it, and a lot of my favourite guitarists such as Eric Clapton, Jimmy Page, people like that used to use these Fender Strats to play their music. So, and I think, considering all these guitarists played these instruments, then I should have one as well. And I also love the sound it made, because when I first started playing it, I really enjoyed the sound it made. It's got the different pickups, of course. I mean, the different pickups, like there'll be a rock sound. There'll be the sort of choppy, funky sort of sound it will produce. It will also produce a funny American rock sound, and of course, there's the standard guitar, standard guitar sound that comes with every guitar. And I really love playing this guitar. And my other guitar, which is an acoustic guitar, which is just here. This is a Taylor, this is a Taylor guitar, which is about a year old. I did have a Spanish guitar, but I sold that. So I decided, because I wanted another guitar that was a proper acoustic guitar that would produce a great sound, and it's got nylon strings as well. So I bought this one. This is a Taylor. It's just over a year old now, and again, what attracted me to this guitar was the sound it made. It's got a beautiful. You can see it's got a beautiful sound, and again, I like the look of it. I love the wooden frame, the wooden colours that it has, and yeah, and it's a beautiful guitar, and I really enjoy playing this sort of guitar. And but now onto the equipment that I do use currently, and I'll switch back to my electric when I do this. First of all, let's start with my pick. I use a make called Jim Dunlop, and they are 88mm wide, and that's quite thick for a guitar pick. And the reason I use thick guitar picks is because when I play my guitar, when I play with a quite thin pick, it tends to be very flimsy, and I find it quite difficult to play with. So I use these very thick sort of, they're made of plastic, and so yeah. So just to sum it up, I use these particular guitar picks because they're easy to use. Well, I find them easy to use, and they're not too flimsy when I'm playing, because then I tend to struggle to play my guitar if they're too flimsy. So that's why I use these thick picks. Should also mention as well, this is what we call a whammy bar, and it comes this comes with my guitar, and it's obviously got the tremolo system. So I will use the whammy bar, and what attracted me to a whammy bar, I said to the guy down the guitar shop, I wanted a guitar with a tremolo system, because again, my inspirations used these tremolo systems, and they would it would improve my guitar playing, and it would make my techniques a lot more advanced. So that's another piece of equipment I really like to use. Most importantly, I should go on to my lead. This is a Fender lead, and this came with my Fender Strat, because, and the reason I use Fender leads is because again, well, because particularly because they're the same make as my guitar, and I reckon I think, and I've tried it on other leads. This Fender lead doesn't create the best sound. So yeah, and that's why I use that. And obviously there's the well, I think every guitarist has one of these, a capo. I use a capo. Well, I don't use it very much on my electric guitar because because a lot of the songs I play don't use capos for the electric. But what I use on my acoustic, which I've just shown you there, sometimes I want to tune down, so to get my voice, because when I want to sing, so the song suits my voice. So yeah, that's quite an important thing for me. And the reason I use this capo, there isn't really a reason why I use it, because it's just, it does its job, and it's the easiest thing for me to use. And so that's it for me. And a really major thing with playing guitars is, of course, your amp. And this is the amp that I use currently to practice with. As you can see, it's a Fender amp. This amp is now about 4 years old, because I used it on my very old guitar, which I don't have anymore. But the reason I have a Fender amp is, again, because it matches my guitar, and it's got and with the Fender amps, it's got lots of different effects you can use on it. So this let me just get in closer. So this knob here, this will turn the gain up and down. So say if you want to distort your guitar a little bit more to make it sound a bit more, you know, gritty and rocky, you can turn that up and down. Obviously there's the volume button, which obviously makes it loud, I needn't say more. Then your treble, which you can turn that up and down. Your bass, say if you want to add a bit more bass and make it sound a bit more, you know, sort of, yeah, bass sounding. And of course your master volume, which is what makes the amp, well, what really adjusts the amp. But this is the most important part of my amp for me, because this is the different settings. This knob here, it's probably hard to see on the camera, but this knob here, it changes the sound of the guitar through the amp. So without using any of the effects on my guitar, such as the tone control or the volume, this little button here, it basically changes the sound of the guitar. So these lights here, all of these little lights here, will, when you're plugging in, they will come on and they'll create different sounds. So one of them will be a quite clean 60s rock and roll sort of sound. And so if you want to change that to make the guitar sound a bit more sort of heavier and grittier, you've got things like the supersonic setting, which is quite an important one. That's that basically really makes the guitar sound very hard and gritty, and it really makes it sound cool, in my opinion, and it really suits the style that I play. But of course you've got the British 60s, which is the style of guitar that, let's say, bands like the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, the Searchers, Herman's Hermits, bands like that would have used, and they're another great big inspiration for me. And we've also got the Metal 2000, and that's a very noisy sort of guitar sound, and that basically is going to make the guitar sound a lot like Metallica or Anthrax or Slayer or any of those bands. I don't really like those bands, but say if I want to muck around with the riffs or something, I will put it onto that. So that's why I use this particular amp. Like I said, it's a Fender 70 watt amp. Just checking the how much watts there are in this amp. 70 watts, and I use it because there's so many different effects, and you can change the guitar your guitar sound anytime you like. It's as easy as just turning the button, and yeah, and then you're ready to go. Then obviously you've got the reverb, which you can turn up and down. Say if you want to turn the reverb up, because again I like a lot of surf rock music, which is bands like Dick Dale, the Beach Boys used it quite a bit as well. Another couple of bands I really like, so I do use turn the reverb up if I want to sound like the Beach Boys or Dick Dale or some bands like that. So, but yeah, and that's why I really like using this amp. It's a really really nice amp, and yeah, that's all I can really say on that. So that's. Oh, I should probably also mention I haven't got it on me unfortunately at the moment because I've lent it out to a friend. But what I also really love to use is a bottleneck, which is obviously what you put on your finger. Say if you want to play the slide guitar, and like I said, I haven't got it on me at the moment, but I do love to use a slide because and my one's a glass one. I do tend to use it because I really love the blues. Blues and rock are my favourite genres of music, and I do love to play the blues guitar. So say if I want to make it sound a bit like Elmore James sort of style, or Billy Gibbons out of ZZ Top, I really want to make it, because again, blues is I have a really strong interest in blues. So yeah, so if I want to play the blues guitar, I want to make it sound really good, like the slide, and it'll. Using the bottleneck will make my techniques sound a lot more advanced and a lot more, you know, a lot more blues sounding, and I really enjoy playing the blues. So yeah, and that's why I use the slide, and yeah. Well, and that's all the equipment I currently have at the moment, and I'm also going to be telling you about what equipment I'm going to be using, or what I really want to get during my musical journey. What I want to get in future to make my guitar sound a lot better, and yeah, and currently, and this may surprise you, but I haven't got any effects pedals as yet. But I do want to get some effects pedals because again, a lot of my inspirations used effects pedals, such as like for instance, the distortion pedal. Say if I wanted to start with a clean guitar sound, and then later on in the song that I'm playing, change to a distorted sound. A lot of guitarists that I love listening to use that sort of. They use that sound. They use distortion pedals, and I really want to use that because then it will make me sound a lot more advanced, and it'll improve my techniques that I use, and that's what I want to do. Another really another effects pedal I really want to get is the wah wah pedal, because mainly because the wah wah pedal sounds just so different, and it's the same with a lot of my other guitar influences. They use wah wah pedals, like I think Joe Perry out of Aerosmith used a wah wah pedal on some songs, and again, Aerosmith are a big influence on me, one of my favourite bands, and I just want to sound like that, and it'll make my guitar sound and my guitar playing sound a lot more exciting, you know, because you don't really want, for me if you want to be a good guitarist, you've got to make it sort of interesting. You can't just have, well, I'm not saying, well, this is because this is my particular style, because like I said, for me, you've got to make it sound interesting, because I don't really like my guitar just sounding really sort of mainstream and just the same as everybody else. I want to make it my own style, so I could have just one massive effects pedal, and it will have the wah wah sound. It will have the distortion pedal, things like that, and that's what I really want to achieve when I'm older and during my musical journey. Once I've got those effects pedals, I think it'll be really good for me, and I'll really sound a lot better than I am now. Because obviously I'm not at the moment as good as I'm going to be, because this course, like the course that I'm currently on at the moment, is going to make me better. And hopefully, as I go further down my musical journey, I will get these pedals, And